10 Lessons Most Men Discover Too Late. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something powerful, 10 Lessons Most Men Discover Too Late. These aren't just random tips, they're hard-earned truths that can save you years of struggle, regret, and missed opportunities. Inspired by Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, who lived over 2,000 years ago, these lessons are as relevant now as they were in ancient Rome. They're about mastering your emotions, navigating life's chaos, and finding true strength, not the kind society pushes, but the kind that comes from within. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, could have had anything he wanted: wealth, power, pleasure. Yet he chose a life of discipline, writing his meditations to guide himself through wars, plagues, and betrayal. If he could find clarity in that chaos, we can too. Over the next hour, I'll share 10 Stoic lessons that men often learn when it's too late. After broken relationships, burnout, or chasing the wrong goals, stick around because the final lesson might just flip your perspective on life. Hit that like button, grab a coffee, and let's get started. Lesson number 1. You can't control everything, and that's okay. The first lesson is a gut punch. You can't control most of life, and fighting that fact wastes your energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Stoics like him knew you can't stop the rain, change others' opinions, or rewind time. What you can control is your response, your thoughts, actions, and attitude. Think about getting stuck in traffic on your way to a big meeting. You're fuming, honking, stressed out, but the traffic doesn't care. All that anger just burns you out. I remember a buddy, Jake, who lost it when his flight got canceled before a job interview. He was a mess until he realized, I can't fix this, but I can stay calm and reschedule. That shift saved his sanity and impressed the employer with his composure. Lesson number 2, your perspective shapes your reality. Lesson 2, it's not what happens to you, but how you see it. Epictetus said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. This is huge. Two guys can face the same setback, like a job loss, and one sees it as a disaster while the other sees it as a fresh start. Guess who's stronger? Imagine your boss chews you out. You could think, I'm a failure, and spiral. Or you could think, this is feedback to improve. The event is the same, your perspective changes everything. I saw this with a client, Mike, who was crushed after a divorce. He kept thinking, my life is over. When he shifted to, this is a chance to rebuild, he started working out, reconnected with friends, and found purpose. Lesson number 3, the present is all you have. Lesson 3, live in the now because it's all you've got. Marcus Aurelius wrote, do not waste the remainder of your life in thoughts about others or the future. Too many men spend their lives regretting the past or stressing about what's next, missing the moment they're in. You're not there. The Stoics knew time is fleeting. Every second you're distracted, you're losing life. I learned this the hard way when I was so focused on my career that I barely noticed my dad's health declining. When he passed, I wished I'd been present for those small moments. Lesson number 4, discipline is freedom, not a cage. Lesson 4, self-discipline isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Society tells men freedom is doing whatever you want, binging, partying, avoiding hard work. But that's a trap. True freedom comes from controlling your impulses. Think about skipping the gym for weeks. You feel free at first, but soon you're sluggish and unhappy. Discipline, sticking to a routine, gives you energy, confidence, and control. A friend, Tom, used to drink heavily to unwind. When he committed to sobriety and morning runs, he said, "I've never felt freer." His discipline built a life he loved. Lesson number 5. Change is your ally, not your enemy. Lesson 5. Embrace change because it's the only constant. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Men often resist change, new jobs, relationships ending, aging, because it feels like loss. But Stoics saw change as growth's engine. When I got laid off years ago, I was gutted. I loved my job, but that change pushed me to start my own business, something I'd never have done otherwise. Change isn't the problem. Fearing it is. A viewer, Alex, shared how his breakup led him to therapy, where he discovered strengths he never knew he had. Change was his catalyst. Lesson number 6. Wealth won't fill the void. Lesson 6. Chasing material wealth leaves you empty. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Society pushes men to measure success by money, cars, or status. But Stoics knew true wealth is inner peace, not a bank account. I knew a guy, Chris, who worked 80-hour weeks to buy a fancy house. He got it, but he was miserable, divorced, stressed, and lonely. The stuff didn't fix the void. When he downsized and focused on relationships, he found joy. Many men learn this too late, after years of chasing the wrong things. Lesson number 7. Master your emotions. Don't bury them. Lesson 7. Emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about understanding them. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Men are often taught to man up and hide emotions, but that's a recipe for anger or burnout. Stoics say, feel it, name it, manage it. Yelling might feel good, but it escalates. Instead, pause, breathe, and ask, why am I angry? I coached a guy, Dan, who'd snap at his kids when stressed. When he started journaling his triggers, he learned to respond calmly. His family noticed the change. Lesson number 8. Own your choices, no excuses. Lesson 8. You're responsible for your life, full stop. Epictetus said, the chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control. Blaming others, your boss, your parents, the economy, keeps you weak. Owning your choices makes you strong. I met a guy, Ryan, who blamed his dead-end job on a bad economy. When he took responsibility, updating his skills, networking, he landed a better role. He didn't control the market, but he controlled his effort. Men who learn this late miss years of growth. Lesson number 9. Knowledge is power, but wisdom is freedom. Lesson 9. Facts alone don't make you strong, wisdom does. Marcus Aurelius wrote, delve deep within yourself, for a wellspring of goodness is ready to gush forth. Stoics valued learning, but not just for facts, for understanding life, yourself, and others. In today's info overload, it's easy to chase trivia or social media noise. Wisdom is different. It's reflecting on what you learn and applying it. A mentor, Paul, read tons of self-help books but stayed stuck until he journaled about his mistakes. That reflection turned knowledge into growth. Lesson number 10. Forgiveness is your superpower. The final lesson, and the one most men miss until it's too late: forgiveness is strength, not weakness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Holding grudges against a friend, a partner, or yourself poisons your peace. Forgiving sets you free. I held a grudge against a coworker who sabotaged me early in my career. It ate me up until I realized my anger only hurt me. Letting go didn't excuse him. It gave me clarity to move on. A viewer, Mark, forgave his estranged dad after years of resentment. It didn't fix their past, but it healed Mark's heart. There you have it, 10 lessons most men discover too late, from embracing change to forgiving others. Stoicism isn't just ancient philosophy, it's a playbook for thriving in a chaotic world. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus faced empires, exile, and death, yet found peace through these principles. You don't have to wait until you're old or broken to learn them. Start now. Pick one lesson to try this week. Maybe it's reframing a problem or forgiving a grudge. Small steps build a stronger you. If this video hit home, smash that like button to share it with others. Drop a comment, tell me which lesson resonated or how you're applying Stoicism.